What is going on, everybody? Thanks for being here. I want to share something I think really interesting, and I just want to be honest about some stuff going on, and a little bit different of a video today. So thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys being a part of the community and everything. One thing that I've been mulling over the past few months, really, maybe most of this year so far, is I don't know where this came up, but I've been asking myself, like, am I a person of integrity? And I think it's funny because when I first found out about this word when I was younger, I yet to this day, and I'm 42, I've yet to find somebody who says I'm not a person of integrity. So there inherently has led me to say, I think everybody is a person of integrity and also a person not of integrity. And what does it mean? What does it mean to have integrity? Like, is it a set of morals or beliefs or values that you have? I think that's what it is. It's like, do you have some standards? And then how well do you live up to those standards, right? How well do you measure up to those standards? And when I got to thinking about this, it's like, like you believe in something, you might not believe in the same thing I believe. So it's funny because I will get social pressure from family, friends, and things like that, business partners or whatever, based on the values that I say or portray, right? And I will tell you, Ben, like the more that you really look yourself in the mirror on that, it is tough. It is very tough because the reality is I'm not a person of integrity all the time. And then when I see those things and see those shortcomings, I'm able to look at myself in the mirror and say, where did I go wrong? Why did I go wrong? And it is that questioning that has brought me to this video. So I kind of want to answer this question of, like, how do people go through life, and seemingly when they're young, they things seem so amazing, and young couples are like the coolest thing in the world. I think in my opinion, it's like, they're so energetic and they're so positive, and they have all these dreams and they're excited. And that's how I was when I was young and married. Like, it just seemed like it was us against the world. Like, no one could ever, like, anything we did just turned to gold. And my career was completely different back then. And then, so it's like this crazy dichotomy that I feel like I'm in. And I want to share this with you guys because as I've realized this about my life, I feel like this is like how I see other executives and other people in the church and other just people all around who are Christian, and who are not. But so it's like, when you set out in life, you have this set of goals, or this life that you want to live, right? And so with you, your spouse, and your family, and your friends, or whatever, you kind of share those kind of goals or whatever, you talk about those things, and then you set off to do them, and you set off to go make it happen. And if you're an ambitious person, then you don't understand what you're going into, right? And I think now, like, being on the older side of life, probably, I don't know, some people say I'm not, but whatever, 40s, it's like, you look back and you're like, man, was it really worth having those goals? You know what I'm saying? And was it really worth, spending all the time working 18-hour days, working weekends, traveling so much? Like, because we had the goals, we had dreams, we had places we want to go, we had doors opening, we had things were happening. And so you take those opportunities and you just go out there and you just work on it, and you just do it, and you do your thing, and you're going out there and you're crushing it. And maybe some of you totally can't relate to that, but you go out and you start your 9 to 5, you work your way up the corporate ladder, you go from one salary to the next, you go from an apartment to a townhome to your own home, to a home and a boat, what I'm saying? And then eventually, I feel like this is what happens in a lot of places in life. I'm going to loop all this back together to why I think one of the reasons why there's like a bunch of people looking under the cover or under the hood right now amongst, there's this theme of like rich white men, right? Which is funny. Whether this is a problem or not in the country, it's like, um, there's rich white men lead both parties. I don't know if you guys know that. Okay. It's hilarious. Like, you'll see guys on one side, they're like, oh, well, it's the problem is rich white men like Trump. Well, it's like, well, yeah, dude, you have Biden, Zuckerberg, Bezos, like pretty much every rich white guy, Warren Buffett. Like, I mean, and so I just trying to stay out of the politics of it and look at it from a more of a human standpoint, and say, like, well, what causes people to be like that on both sides? What causes people to be, to kind of because I think, having been a person who had success, like, I'll just tell you, like, those quote rich white guys or whatever you want to call them, they weren't always rich white guys. They were just like you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them were like, and maybe not like all the top billionaires. I don't know how they grew up, but like, I'm talking about like the majority of people who have done a million or millions or, hundreds of millions or maybe the first billion. Like, they weren't they weren't. I mean, I know a lot of these guys. I know hundreds or maybe thousands of these guys. Like, they were just like you. They grew up just like you. They had the young ambitions and dreams and things like that, and they went out there and they worked hard and they did it. And it's this crazy dichotomy of where, like, you feel like, oh, I'm being a person of integrity, so I'm going to do what I said. Okay, well, then you realize, like, oh shoot, in order to do that, I need to work 3 more hours, I need to work 6 more hours, I need to work weekends, I need to travel, I need to do this, I got this promotion, we need to move, we need to move the kids, we need to blah blah blah, we should buy this house, oh, this opportunity is there, maybe we should go that, and you're doing all these things. And it's like, in the meantime, while you're doing all those things, this is why divorces are 50% in America, I think, or one big reason is because while you're doing all these things, chasing your dreams, and whether you're a 9 to 5 person or an entrepreneur or whatever, you come to a point where you realize, man, I'm working on all the outward things. I'm working on all these things that you almost feel like social pressure, but it's like I've been a part of building that social pressure, right? I told people, I put my dreams out, or people just kind of know my trajectory, and so it's like, if you know how it is, like, if you go from one job to another, well, people think in 2 more years you should be at the next level, right? Like, you get this social pressure, and so you constantly feel like, you should be advancing, or HR tells you, or your boss, or people at work, and so all that is part of social pressure, right? And so you think, oh yeah, well, yeah, maybe I will work that extra night, or well, maybe I will, um, maybe I will go to that company party on the weekend, even though I should be spending that time at my kid's baseball game or whatever. And next thing you know, like, people, I think, build this life where they look back and they go, man, like, am I a person of integrity? Like, am I, and are you, it's like, man, you gotta have a lot of balls to be able to even say that, right? And to look at your life and look at this and just go, um did I like, I all these outward things we accomplished, but what happened onto the internal things, right? Like, what happened? And that's where the word integrity comes through. It's right. So it's like, yeah, I believed in I had these things I wanted to do, but then I also had these like underlying values that I wanted to live. And it was like, there, you feel like there had to be a give and take somewhere. And so I think your hope when you're young is that you'll grow, and there'll be an understanding there of that, that your family or your whoever that's with you, like, will have, that there'll be a growth together, and that, but that's difficult, and it's difficult to expect that if the other person isn't in your shoes, or doesn't understand what you do. And especially with technology, I've had this discussion multiple times the last 2 years with young couples who are in technology, and saying that, what you guys are doing now is not going to be what you're doing in 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years. And so the idea that, yeah, we'll just be together forever, you have to have an understanding that technology, that, things will change, where you may be doing business in the metaverse in 15 years from now, and your spouse may go, I don't like the metaverse. In fact, I hate it that you have your business in the metaverse. Do you see what I'm saying? That is something you could have never anticipated 10 years ago. You could have never, like, in my lifetime, you could have never anticipated YouTube and social media and social influencers and putting your name out there, or, there's just a lot of things, like, you just could not have anticipated it. But technology moves so fast. When you get married young, you don't know what's going to happen, who you're going to be, who you're not going to be, what's going to happen to your company, if they're going to fold, if the division that you're working in, that you're trying to be an expert in, is going to not be there in 2 years, if it's going to be taken over by robots. You have no idea, you know and one reason that I know from men, I'll just say on the men's side, that you come to this point where you realize like, man, I did all these things for them, for the family, for the wife, but then there's a disconnect there, right? The connection and um the whatever you want to call it is missing. And so you tend to think, well, why did I do all this? You know what I'm saying? Because in your heart, whether you showed them or not, you did this for them. You know what I'm saying? And so you tend to I don't know how to say it. It's almost like you're just you don't know what to do. And then this is where divorces come in, where if you try to bring it up, or the other person doesn't like it, or the other person is telling you to change, or you didn't want to change because you felt like you were, you still had to push forward, and you felt like, if I stop, then I know some people, like some guys, they felt like if they stopped, then their wife was gonna get on them about not building and not doing all these things. Maybe that was true, maybe it wasn't, but that's the pressure that they felt. And so I want to bring it back to, like, eventually, like, families break up, and when they break up, it's like, you're left with a guy who can easily misinterpret the world and misinterpret life, the rest of his life, because at this point, what does he have left? And he has all these things, all these outward things, and he can, tear it down, build it up, he can do all these things, but that wasn't what he did all this for, right? And so I really think that this is like a huge issue in corporate America, that I just have had a revelation on this year, and it's come through, like, looking at my life and stuff. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Let me know what you think. You let me know, if I'm onto something here or not. So I think that when it ties back into, like, why do we talk about rich white men or rich whatever, in that they're, capitalism is greedy and this and that. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, that's all they have left. When they get a divorce or whatever, I mean, 80% of divorces are followed by women in the US. It's a crazy stat. 90% of the money goes from men to women, which is a crazy stat. Was essentially, is, I'm not saying all women are doing this, but they're not stupid either, right? Like, they know, like, hey man, if I can get a divorce, I'm gonna get paid. So they see it as a launching pad to their next life or whatever. Whereas the guy, he sees it totally different, and so he doesn't know what to do. So the only thing, I think, what a lot of guys do is they try to they do the only thing they've won at. The only thing they've been a winner at was building their company or furthering their career or whatever it is. And so that's just what they go do, and as a man, you want to accomplish, you want to achieve, you want to win, right? And so you would naturally go back to what you have won at and what you can win at. And some people go the wrong way and they go down the tube and that kind of thing. But I think for the most part, a lot of people, they go back to doing what they're good at. And that eventually, but now that they don't have the connection and the backing and the purpose, they don't really have the moral there either. So so number one, I'm not saying I'm going to go there, I'm going there, but through my process, hopefully you guys are okay with me being this open here, but hopefully you're seeing that, like, as I've gone through that process, I've realized, I've had a revelation, I feel like, of this is why there is a greater problem, although I'm not going down that route, but I think that I could see how that happens now. And I think it's a big issue. So I don't know, guys. You let me know, guys. I'll be here every single day. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. And you guys are the best. I love y'all. And I'll be here every day. Check the video feed. I'll be here every day for you. Talk to you soon. You let me know.